Welcome to Big Business Saturdays. Hey Fola fam, my name is Dreyoncé and we are back with Big Business Saturdays. Welcome to another episode where we highlight up-and-coming entrepreneurs and businesses in the biggest way possible. So I'm so excited about today's episode. We have here a very special guest. Why don't we just go ahead and bring her on out. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Delilah.
Hey beautiful people, it's me, Delilah Dee, and you're watching Big Business Saturday with Fola Financial.
This is
Welcome to the
so
show.
Cute.
We're so happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here. It's an honor to be
you
here.
Look great.
It's an honor to be in, the Fola headquarters.
Yes.
Here for it.
I'm so excited to have you on the show, and I've heard so much about you. And you are an events coordinator, is that correct?
Girl, I do so much.
Really? You do have a lot of listeners, right?
You know what's so funny? Anytime anyone asks me, so what exactly do you do? I'm like, the most.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say is the most. But, so I do run marketing and operations for Queen Warriors. It is the #1 online live fitness platform for women. I have my own company, which is Shift World. Everything we do is to inspire the Black and Brown community to become the best versions of themselves. I also do consulting, which is events as well. I work with a lot of brands to put on special curated experiences and such, and just live my life. I'm just out here laughing all the time, crying all the time. I'm a very emotional person. I'm not afraid to embrace it, but I just, I take everything day by day. But no, I'm one of those girls that does a lot.
You sound like you do a lot, super busy. And I know you said you highlight Black and Brown girls. So how did that come about? How did that find the inspiration to want to really highlight that community, and especially women, right?
Something with me that's really important is to highlight, and obviously the Black and Brown community, but especially when it comes to women. So with me being someone who grew up in North Philly, someone who grew up, I'm a child of an immigrant, of a teenage immigrant, I didn't really come from anything, and just seeing what my mom has sacrificed just to raise me and my brother, and just seeing what I witnessed growing up, I've always knew there's just so much more out there. So it's I don't take any of the sacrifices that my mother and my family did in vain, but it's just, it took a lot out of me to unlearn certain stuff to want to become the best version of me. So the thing is, a lot of people within our community don't understand this limitless mindset that really exists. It sounds so insane, but literally you can do anything you set your mind to. So it's just when you grow up in a society that tells you there's only limited things that you can do, there's only so much that you can do, this is the cycle that you're a part of, this is the cycle that you can't break, that's just the way the world is. No, baby, that is not the way the world is. That is not the way I see the world. And it's just something I'm just really big on, is just us understanding our power, understanding what it means to be alive, understanding what it means to step into the best versions of ourselves, despite what society may have told us that we can do and can accomplish. And I'm just really big on just being an advocate just for my community in general, to want to tap into that best version of themselves, to want to break, shatter all glass ceilings, and set a new legacy for the descendants moving forward. I don't care what the narrative of your mother, your father, your grandparents, your aunts, whatever, you can start a whole new narrative with yourself.
Right.
So it's just that's something I've always been big on, and I implement that into how I operate on a day-to-day basis. This is with the brands that I work with, this is with the clients that I pick up, this is with anything that I'm promoting. Does it make sense? Does it impact? Does it have some type of impact? Is it making people think a different way, to open up their mindset a different way? That's something I've always been really big on.
I want to touch on what you said about the relationship with yourself. How important is that towards what you do every day, and how important is to work on that relationship for yourself, for the success of your own business?
You can't show up for other people if you're not showing up for yourself. That's something I had to learn too. It's just, when we're someone that we're setting a new boundary, we're walking down a new journey, or walking down a new path that no one has done before, you feel like you have to do so much. You have to over deliver in so many ways. You need to show why you deserve this, show why you deserve that. You have to stay up late, wake up early, do all this stuff, and you're just going above and beyond for so many people, but we forget about ourselves throughout that process. And then what's going to happen is you're going to end up depleting yourself. You're going to end up feeling overwhelmed. You're going to end up up like just like and things that you used to love is you're not gonna love it anymore because it just seems like a task. It seems like a chore. So it's like, you know, something that's really important with me that I've been stressing, especially like upon this new year, even just leading up to this new year. Because what's crazy is that I love all of the work that I do, but I was becoming so overwhelmed with everything. Like, I'm telling you, I would have like random nosebleeds. Like, I would have like from stress.
Really?
Like, my hair was thin. I'm known for my hair being bigger while my hair was thinning. Like, I was losing a lot of hair. Like, I was stressed. And I'm like, I should not be this stressed. I should not be feeling the way that I was feeling, like mentally, emotionally, and physically. But it was just because I was doing so much. And like, you know, I really am like adamant now. Like my mornings are to me. You know, it means I had to wake up a little bit earlier, yes, but it's like what I have to do to take care of me. Because again, like, you know, as long as I know I showed up for myself in the morning, that means I'm able to show up for other people and not feel so overwhelmed. So it's like, you know, since the start of this new year, actually started back in November, that like, you know, I'm waking up at like between 5 to 6 a.m. every day. You know, within that time frame, I am meditating, I am reading, I am going to the gym, I'm doing all of this. So it's not like as soon as I wake up, I'm rushing into my work or going into my work day. Like, no, I had my mornings to myself. I showed up for me. I did what I needed to do for me. Now I'm able to show up and serve for other people.
Pay yourself before you pay them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I've been doing the same thing myself. Just taking the time out and just having that stillness before you jump into the chaos. Is so essential.
Because, you know, so many times like, I'll go to the gym later after I'm done this, or I'll do it like, no, because by the time at the end of the day, you're like, I don't feel like doing anything else. So it's just, I can't control how like certain, like how my days are going to roll out, because I never know. I swear, I'm always throwing curveballs on a day. It's exciting. I mean, it's exciting. Nothing's ever the same, but at least the one thing I know I can control is how my mornings are. So that's why like my mornings are so important to me. It's so important for me to show up for me so I can show up for others.
Definitely something different.
Okay.
I want to have a little fun.
I'm here for
it. Are you
it.
down for a game?
I'm always down for a game.
Okay. So you see, we have these beautiful blocks here presented.
It's not chocolate?
It's not chocolate. Okay. we could get a snack after. But what we have here is a beautiful setup here, and these are not just regular gold bars.
Okay.
These have questions.
Oh, what?
Yes.
Okay,
so I want you to pick a question. Which one feels like the lucky winner?
Ancestors are saying this one.
This one? Let's see. Hopefully we don't have a game of Jenga happen right now.
I'll crack it up. Ooh. Because me always making things complicated.
No worries.
So.
We got it. All right. So I'm going to ask you this question. If you only had $100 left to spend, what would you spend it on?
Ooh, that's a good question. If I only... Is it like person related? Is it business related?
It can be whatever you want, whatever you feel is right. Do you feel like a business investment would be the best option, or personal investment down to the last 100?
Wow. That's a great question.
Take your time. Take your time.
If I only had $100 left, what would I spend it on?
$100 left. That's it. You're not getting
only
$100
more. Left.
Not 101.
Honestly, my cell phone bill.
Really?
Yeah. Because a lot of my business is conducted through my cell phone. And then especially if I'm traveling, if I'm en route, like that would be a huge inconvenience. Yeah, if I'm not able to like get in contact or have access to internet or whatever. So my cell phone bill. Because I'm able to make that money back through my phone.
That's actually a great answer, because all you got to do is make a call like, hey, we got to get it working and get the more money flowing after that call. So.
The reason why I decided to say I'm going to use my last $100 to spend on my cell phone bill is because it's something that I can relate to on a personal level. There was a time in my life when I literally barely had any money in my bank account, but I always made sure that my cell phone bill was paid. And the reason why is because that's how I was building my brand. The reason why is because that is how I was building connection. The reason why is that how I was just kind of sharing my life. And all this plays a part into like who I am today. I know it's crazy to think like people will be like, oh, life isn't all about social media. It isn't all about this. But when you utilize it correctly, when you utilize it to your advantage, when you utilize internet to your advantage, when you're not just there scrolling, when you're actually implementing plans of actions, when you're actually building a genuine community online, a community that will show up for you when you have business announcements, a community that will show up for you when you're looking for clients, a community that will show up for you when you just need help up with something, I did all of that through my cell phone. So, it's just something, again, like, there was a time in my life when I didn't even have money to eat, but I would make sure that my cell phone bill was always paid because my cell phone is what helped me make multi-million dollars for other clients and businesses.
I'm Delilah. Here at Fola, we do have 4 core principles.
Ooh.
And I want you to pick one that resonates with you the most, that you relate to. We have financial freedom, opulence, legacy, and abundance, each standing for a letter in Fola. Financial freedom, opulence, legacy, and abundance.
Wow. I would say abundance definitely speaks volumes to me because abundance can come in all shapes and forms. It can come abundance and financial freedom, abundance and peace, abundance and calmness, abundance and winning, abundance and even just your legacy building. So the term abundance 36 to me most.
Where are you from? What's your background?
I'm Puerto Rican and Peruvian.
What skills or lessons have you acquired that really give you that advantage over someone who doesn't have the same identity as you?
One thing just for me in general, I'm a proud ass Latina. Like I put my culture on the forefront of everything. This is something that I wasn't really confident with my identity before. I went to a PWI. I love my car. Shout out to Penn State. I love Penn State University. Definitely was taught a lot. But it was during my experience there that I really started getting into like identity politics in general, just understanding myself or who I am and what I represent. I didn't understand the power that comes to being Latina. I didn't understand because the thing is like with us, when you grow up, you feel like being a person of color is just someone that just doesn't really accomplish a lot because it's not really what you see. So like, just like with that being said, like I've always held my culture on the forefront of everything. I've always been very prideful of who I am and my background. And I just feel like, I have that narrative to be able to see things through a different perspective. And I'm definitely grateful that I hang out with a lot of like amazing people with different backgrounds and different cultures, and I'm able to get into every opportunity that I get into with a more open mindset. So I think it's really important for anyone that, whether my background or not, because even with being Latina, there's a lot of faults that comes aligned with being a Latina. Because, there's a lot. That's a whole other conversation for the other day, because I can break that down even more. But, it's not perfect. And, there's a lot of so just something I'm very grateful for is that I'm able to always be open-minded with everything, never view myself above or, anything that, because I do understand privileges that I do have because of the way that I look. I don't represent what all Latinas look like, obviously. We come from all different backgrounds, shades, forms, colors, everything. And it's just I understand my privilege and what I have. So I'm always making sure I'm utilizing my platform to not just speak on other issues, but having other people to represent different, different people within the Latinidad, speak on their issues as well too. So I think just something that's really important for me is just always being mindful, always being open-minded of everyone's experiences. And again, no one's experience is the same as the other. We all have different challenges and we all have different privileges, and recognizing that and just how am I utilizing my privilege to help uplift other people or just kind of help shed my platform to be, a voice for other people as well.
It sounds like it taught you a lot of humility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I think that's something that's so essential to just always take on with you, no matter how big your business grows or how far you climb the social economic ladder, that you always stay humble, because at the end of the day, we're all humans just having this physical experience, but your soul is what really matters.
There's just so much to learn too. There's so much to learn about people.
Yeah.
Still learning. I know. And it's just such a beautiful experience too. Again, I take pride in just knowing that I don't know everything.
Yeah.
That's something I'm very, very prideful of. And I'm just always ready to learn. I'm always I'm a forever student. I'm always want to, I'm definitely this sponge that wants, taking knowledge, taking information as much as possible, and just learning from different people and their experiences too. So I think it's really important as a business owner, you need to be mindful of that, because you need to be mindful of whatever products you're putting together, whatever community you're trying to serve. Is the messaging going to relate? Is it going to retain? Is it going to be seen? Or is it going to come off offensive? Is it not? not like, you know, what type
Especially
of
in today's culture.
Yeah, absolutely, because everyone's quick to cancel someone about
Yeah.
something. So it's just like you have to be mindful of that. Like, you have to be mindful of the stuff you're putting out. Is it going to offend anyone?
Right.
You know, you have to talk to other people. You can't just talk to people who are just like you. You need people to tell you, like, if you're doing something right, you're doing something wrong. You know, it's the only way you can grow as a business owner as well too, and be open to that.
Right. And you also said, I know you said you learn so much, you're like a sponge, you absorb, but you also did say earlier that there are things you had to unlearn.
Oh.
So I want to just dive into that and just like, because that's a really interesting statement to say. Like, you know, we all grow up in this societal expectations and norms, but sometimes the things that we're unlearning can be not as beneficial to us. And those are the very things that, you know, could make us successful. So what was that for you that you had to unlearn?
Biggest thing is limited beliefs. You know, I know I touched on like just having like a limitless mindset. I had to unlearn a lot of that. You know, a lot of the fears that my mother, my aunts, my grandmoms had it projected onto me. I had to unlearn their fears, knowing that the stuff that even my father, like, you know, just like their view of the world is so jaded because obviously they came from a different upbringing and like they try to project those fears onto me. Like I was taught like from I was younger, like you can't trust anyone. Everyone's always gonna be out to get you. There's nothing but shady people. Like nah, like I freaking will hug a tree. Like, you know, I'm like very like, no, I genuinely love people. I love community. And I'm not one of these people that's just like, and I feel like, you know, that was one of the main things, like, oh, like, be a lone wolf type person. I do everything on my own. Like, no, like, I like to work with other people. But I'm one to, like, give love on a daily because I want to receive that in return. Right. So it's just, like, you know, that's one of the biggest things I would say I had to unlearn because, you know, I was always like, I can't really trust people. I can't really, like, you know, friends are going to screw me over one way or another, blah, blah, blah. And I was already manifesting that. I was manifesting shitty relationships. I was manifesting people screwing me over. I was manifesting, and that's what I was getting. And I had to, like, release all of that. Like, no, I don't want that in my life. Like, I want genuine friendships. I want to feel love on a daily basis. I want to, like, but I had to be that person too. So it's just, I'm learning a lot of financial insecurities as well. That's something that was really big, because obviously like financial literacy is not something that's big within our community. You know, not knowing what it meant to like how to like utilize your, you know, your credit cards and do any of that. Even me, first starting my business, I didn't know the importance of having a personal bank account versus a business bank account and how that was going to screw me over in the long run. You know, there was just a lot of things I had to learn. But
would you say it provided, like, maybe seeing your success for your family that taught you these things that you had to learn? Do you think it provided any type of healing for them? You doing the exact opposite and then proving like, hey, mom, hey, dad, I can not do what you told me to and still be successful.
You know, my mom has definitely always been my biggest supporter. Like, she's definitely always been my biggest cheerleader. I'm still teaching her stuff, too. But one thing I would say, like, I can, you know, even her, my grandma, my aunts, they love seeing me live the life that I live right now. They love seeing me just generally putting myself out there and just, like, you know, just appreciating and loving life. You know, I would hope that it will heal them in some way. But, you know, it's unfortunate, you know, a lot of people are stuck in their ways. So, you know, I just pray that they do find healing in a different way.
I'm a strong believer in work hard, play hard.
Absolutely.
And tell me more about Jefetona.
Jefetona?
Jefetona.
Jefa, you know the jefas.
I'm Jefe, hold on. I'm saying it mad Americanized.
Okay.
Jefetona, which is Philly's first reggaeton and Caribbean party solely for women.
Absolutely.
I want to know a little bit more how you developed the idea, why you chose to go solely for women, and how hard do you party?
Okay, 'cause look, I work really hard. You know, it is something that, you know, I put my best foot forward in everything that I do. You know, I'm literally running a multi-million-dollar like fitness app company. I am running my own company. I am working with clients on a day-to-day basis. Like, so when it comes time to play, I'm gonna play. And you know, and that's another thing. Like, I don't want it. I'm very mindful of like how I'm spending my time. So with Jefetona, I actually used to do this women's meetup series. It's called Hermanas and Hustle. So I've always been like, I just love being around women. Like, it's just something so powerful about exchanging like divine feminine energy and just kind of like, yes, it's just, I love being a woman and I love being around other women. And just like with that, because I feel like, again, this is something that even within our culture, we're kind of taught like this person's gonna be jealous of you, this person's that, oh, don't trust girls because they're shady, they want your man, they want it, and it's just like
putting them against each other.
Yeah, like, you know, that's like little stuff, like you're gonna be the prettiest girl in the classroom, like girls are gonna be hating on you, like these are stuff you're already like
the unlearned stuff you have to
unlearn, and it's just like, no, there's just so much power when we come together.
Yeah.
And, you know, just having a great time. So, like, even with the Hermanas and Hustle meetup that I used to do was like, whether it was a brunch, we'll meet for dinner, we'll meet for a photo shoot. It's just bring it like, yo, let's meet at this location at this time. Let's come together and just build genuine network and stuff. And the thing is with me, there's so many, I'm kind of cheating because I have such a huge community.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, we got to link up, we got to hang out, we got to do this. And I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just not have an event where we can just all come together and like let our head down, let our hair down, and just have fun. So jefatona is kind of like, you know, jefa is female boss in Spanish, and then dona is like from the frikitona.
Okay.
So it's kind of combining the both. Yeah. So like with me, I've always loved Caribbean music. I've always loved reggaeton, like, you know, just like ever since I was a kid, like the dollar parties, giving the wallies and everything. But it's kind of healing for me in a sense. Like, you know, we can be boss women by day, but we can have fun and twerk it out by night. So it's just like, and again, like, you know, to have a safe space where women can just come together and not worry about men creeping on them or bothering them at the bar or whatever. Like, no, it's just a space for us to come together, have fun, and literally just sing and dance the night away.
And I love that too, that you are having this Caribbean, you know, especially growing up in New York, we love reggae.
Yes.
We love Afro beats.
Yeah.
And, you know, but sometimes we just want to go out with our girls and have
Absolutely.
fun and not worry about, like, who's this over my
Okay.
shoulder? So I love that it feels like a very safe space.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
like it's
Was
the
that one of your
ultimate
goals?
girls' night.
For
Yeah.
sure?
It's the ultimate girls' night. You
I
know,
got you.
that's all I wanted. So.
And so let me just ask you, what do you think your legacy will be, or what do you see yourself going into the future with your business, and what things you want to get done, and what is the overall picture?
Overall picture is just being genuinely happy.
Genuinely happy.
And it's funny because I just had this conversation with my girlfriend on my way over to here. But every year I've always been like, I have my goals set for here. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I've, you know, not to like toot my own horn or anything, but I've accomplished a lot. Like, you know, even with everything that I'm doing with, you know, with the app that I'm working with, you know, we've been able to generate like over $10 million in revenue in less than 2 years. There's no seed funding, no investors, completely bootstrapped. Just even with like the milestones I've been able to accomplish with my own business and my own personal ventures, I'm like, this is great. But last year, like I was saying, I was working so hard that I was literally losing my hair. I was having random nosebleeds. I was doing so much. I was feeling depleted. I was not feeling happy anymore. So it's like, you know, my whole thing is like, my biggest accomplishment and my biggest goal is just to be wholeheartedly and genuinely happy. Because there are a lot of successful people out there that are literally going through so many mental demons. They literally feel alone. They literally feel like they don't have anyone. Like, I don't want that. Yeah. So it's like, you know, whatever it is that I'm doing, I just want to be happy, and I want to be doing whatever God wants me to do. Because I know whatever I envision for myself, I know whatever goals that I have, what God has in store for me is so much bigger than that. So my ultimate goal is just to be genuinely, wholeheartedly happy.
I love that. That's really beautiful because, you know, we can't buy a beautiful soul. We can't take all these riches with us. It's all physical.
Absolutely.
Money is a concept like time is. So I think the only thing that we know is true is, you know, how pure love and how we feel about ourselves and our happiness. So tell the people where they can find you, Delilah, and where they can also find out more about Jefetona and get their tickets and wind up their waist.
I'll crack it up. Well, definitely go to jefetona.com. Whether it's waitlist or tickets, again, this is going to be a multi-party series, so it's not like just a one-time thing. It is something probably happening every other month. It is in Philadelphia. It's something I wanted to do for my community because Philly doesn't have anything like that. So it is only in Philly. So if you guys want to travel wherever you're at, it's going to be like
hopping and skipping a jump.
And then me personally, I am Delilah Dee. Yes. That's me. So you can find me everywhere on socials. I am Delilah Dee.
Thank you so much
for
coming,
Thank you for
having
me.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Fola fam, for this episode of Big Business Saturdays. And we'll see you soon.
Telling money, hola, and I can see it coming, cause I'm rocking with Fola, cause I handle my financials. I'm rocking with Fola.